Hello. Sorry? Okay, you can rush. Now, in case for those who are attending from home, as usual, if you are kicked out of the meeting, please rejoin using the same details. Always we have a double period where we need to look at. Now, please, looking at our yesterday's work, is there anyone who encountered challenges? Right? Now, when we look at our today's work, we are looking at, we want to determine the equation of hyperbola. On the determination of the equation of the hyperbola, let me just take some few minutes waiting for those who are joining from home. And from the other class. Now, when we are looking, today we want to look at determining the equation of a hyperbola. The equation of a hyperbola, it has got this format of y is equal to a over x plus q, where a gives us the shape of the hyperbola, and the q is the horizontal line of asymptote. The horizontal line of asymptote. So in this case, when we are finding the equation of the hyperbola, you will always have two scenarios. The first one, you will be given a horizontal asymptote. You will be given a horizontal asymptote and a point on the function. Second one, you will be given 2 points which lie on the function. In this case, you will have to use simultaneous equation. Now, on the use of simultaneous equation, you will remember pretty well that there you are supposed to use the method that you understand better of solving a simultaneous equation, which is we started off with a method of elimination and the one of substitution, right? You can use any. Now we want to look at our first scenario, case number 1, where we are given a horizontal asymptote at a point. Right? Unfortunately, this was the question that I worked, in fact, the same topic that I dealt with the first class. Unfortunately, I forgot to erase it. I forgot to erase it because now we want to start our own so that we have an understanding. They are saying, determine Determine the equation of the hyperbola. Determine the equation of the hyperbola which has a horizontal asymptote of -5. The horizontal asymptote of -5. What does that mean? On the horizontal asymptote, it means to say y is equal to what? Equation -5, right? This is the horizontal asymptote. And it passes through point, and it passes through 0.14. In addition, determine the equation of the x and its point of intersection with the graph. But what is it that we know? We know that the equation of the hyperbola, it has got this format: a over x plus q, a over x plus q. Since we've got a over x plus q, the q, it is one of the parts which is the horizontal asymptote. So what is the value of q that we have here now? -5. So it implies that ay is equal to a over x minus 5. Are you all following there? Right. With this in mind, we are now looking at, because our intention is of finding the equation of the hyperbola.
You guys are
at which point, so we are saying y is equal to a over x minus 5. At which point are we dealing with this one? At point 1, 4. This is the point which lies on this equation. Are you still following? Any more cries there? Great. Now, what is the y value on this point? 4. So in the position of y here, we put a 4, which is equal to a over, what is the value of x? 1. So it's a over 1 minus 5. Are you getting it? Are you still following there? I hope. Please don't be silly somewhere there. Right, there is someone. If I detect you, please, I will bar you from the lesson completely. Can you behave? Okay. Right. After this point, what is it that we have? We want to find the value of A. Now, 1 into A, what does that give us? A. So we've got 4 is equal to A minus 5. Are you seeing it? Now we want to find, we want to make A the subject of the formula. What do we need to do? We transpose 5, -5 to the other side, it will be what? It will be minus +5. Now, what now is going to be the value of A? What is our A? A is going to be equal to 9. This is the answer that we have, right? Now, after getting A is equal to 9, we want to see, we want to find the value. Since we've got A is equal to 9, we go on to our equation. So the equation which we are talking about, now it will be, what is our A? It will be 9. 9 over x minus 5. So it implies that we now have this, we have found the equation of the hyperbola, which is y is equal to 9 over x minus 5. Are you clear on that? Now, in order for us to answer other questions that follow, in order for us to answer the other questions that follow, we need to use this equation that we have here. We need to use this equation that we have to analyze and then answer satisfactorily on the other aspects. Now you will take note that on this particular case, we said our equation is y is equal to 9 over x minus 5. So in this case, let us just do what we did yesterday of sketching, because you remember yesterday we were given an equation of the hyperbola and we're required to sketch it, right? Now, what is the horizontal asymptote that we have here? Sorry? -5. Or x is equal to -5. What is it? Huh? What is the horizontal asymptote? What is the equation of that one? Y is equal to -5. You are not yet well versed with that, but anyway, the one that we have, Q is -5. Since it is -5, this is the horizontal asymptote that we have, which has the equation. The equation of this line, is y is equal to -5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One part which you need to know, right? So our equation is y is equal to 9 over x minus 5, right? We have got our line of asymptote, which is y is equal to -5. Now, from the look of things, you remember yesterday when we looked at this, we said, since Our A, what is the value of A that we got here? What is this number? 9. Is 9 positive or negative? Positive. If A is positive, where is this hyperbola located? In the first and third. Since we are talking about first and third, in this particular case here, we are going to have our graph. Now, our new center now, it has moved to this point, right? Since we are saying it is the first and third, I've got this part, I've got this part, I've got this part, and I've got this one with 4 dots. We are saying first, so it must be in this quadrant, right? It must be in this quadrant. Our hyperbola has the same shape through and through. It must be in this quadrant like that. This is our first quadrant, and we said our first and third, right? So in our third quadrant, we are going to have it located somewhere there. Are you seeing it? Now, we have our line of asymptote, which is y is equal to -5. Are you following? Now, in this case, when you look at this one, when you look at this point, it cuts the y-axis somewhere. It cuts the x-axis. It cuts the x-axis here, right? Our initial x-axis is cut here. Are you seeing it? Now, where this graph cuts the x-axis, we want the x-axis intercept. When we want to find the x-axis intercept, x-axis intercept, what is the value of y? Right. X-axis intercept, x-axis intercept. On the x-axis intercept, y is going to be 0. Let us go on to our equation. This is the equation. So in the position of this y, what do we plug in there? We put in a 0, right? So it was going to give us 9 over x minus 5. We want to make x the subject of the formula. What is it that we need to do? Which one do we transpose? -5 to the other side, it will become 5. So 5 is equal to 9 over x. Our intention is of finding the value of x. What do? We multiply by x squared both sides. So you get 5x is equal to 9. Right? Now, are we done? What is the value of x? What we need to do? We divide by where? Both sides. So we say 9 over 5. Now, 9 over 5. Can you use your calculators and tell me what you get? What you get? 1,8 exactly, right? So we are saying this is the x-axis intercept. So 1,8, it is here. It is cutting at 1,8. And the coordinates here is 1,80, right? So implying that with this one in mind, we have answered one part of the question where they specified that find the right its point of intersection with the graph. In addition, determine the equation of the axis of symmetry and its point of intersection. Okay, here we are not required to find the x-axis intercept. Now, in this case here, now we are supposed to find the y-axis. We are supposed to find the axis, the x-axis, the axis of symmetry, right? Now, on the axis of symmetry, what is it that we need to look at? Since A is positive, if you remember what we did yesterday, when A is positive, what did we say? So meaning to say our equation, our origin has moved slightly to this point, right? Since it has moved to this point, it means to say our equation will be something like this here, right? And it goes there, down there, right? This equation, when you look at this equation, is the gradient of this equation positive or negative? It's positive. So I want someone to tell me y is equal to what? Y is equal to q. X plus, because here is positive. X plus what? X plus 5. Right. X minus 5. In actual fact, on our general equation, it was y is equal to x plus q. The q, it is this line, it is the q, which is this line of asymptote. Are we together? So once you have got this -4, which is the q, you just plug it here. So you have y is equal to x minus 5. Are you getting me right there? Yes?
So is that line not supposed to run through 1,8? The line of symmetry.
Right, anyone to answer to that? He is saying this line of symmetry must it run through 1,8. Anyone? No. The answer is no. This line of symmetry, this one, it is the graph. It is the point on which the graph cuts the x-axis. Yes. So this line must not pass through here. It passes because this one must pass at the intersection, at the curve here and at the curve somewhere there, right? It must not cut here at all. Very good question. Because those are things that at the times, this is the x-axis intercept. Now, this line, it passes through. Now, we want to find you remember when we looked at this one, this point of intersection of the line of of the line of symmetry and the graph, you will remember we said it is given as square root of A, and what here? Square root of A plus what? Plus Q. This is the part that may be challenging at this point. But once you remember this, you are done. Right? What is our A? 9. And what is our Q? Our Q is -5. Now you take this number and plug it here. Now, hello? Oh, yes. Yes? Sorry? Yes. We have a 9 here, right? Sorry? Not Q, no. Q, you take Q as it is. If it is minus, you take minus. If it is positive, you take it positive. But when you are coming on to here, you are taking the 9 as it is, which is the magnitude you take here, you put here. Now, after putting a 9 here, that is where now we need to analyze. This is where we need to analyze. We are saying, if here we put a 9, what are we going to get? It is going to be square root of what? What is A? Right. What is the square root of 9? The square root of 9, here we are going to take 3. Why are we going to take 3? In actual fact, what is the square root of 9? Right. Square root of 9, square root of 9 is going to be plus, or minus 3, right? After getting plus or minus 3, you now look at your Cartesian plane. This position that you are dealing with, is it on the positive? Is it on the right-hand side of 0 on the x-axis, or it is on the left? On the right-hand side. Since it is on the right-hand side of 0, instead of taking a minus, here you are supposed to take plus 3. Are you getting the point? You are going to take plus 3 here because it is on the positive side of the x-axis. So we take a 3 here, right? This 3 that we have, it is the one that we are going to use here. So implying that here we have got a 3. What is our Q? 3 minus 5. Now 3 minus 5, what does that give us? -2. So we are saying this point here, which is the point of intersection of the line of symmetry and the graph, it is 3, -2. Let me stop there for a while. Are you following? Are you clear? But it started off, you remember, we worked out using square root of A and the root of A plus Q. Are you getting the point? Now, in order for you to choose to say, I am taking a plus 3 or minus 3, it depends on the location. Is it on the right-hand side of the x-axis, right-hand side of 0, or on the left? You take that one, right? Are you following? Right, now let us look at this other point. On this other point, still the point is, on this side, you are going to take square root. If we have the square root of 9, what is the square root of 9? Plus or minus 3. Now, on this other side, what is this on the left-hand side of 0 or on the right-hand side of 0? Here, it is on the left. Since it is on the left-hand side of 0, so what do you think the coordinate here will be? Here, negative 3. Are you getting the point? So we have negative 3. Are you getting it? Right, on this part, we have taken a negative 3 here. So meaning to say, here you are also going to take negative 3 because you got plus or minus, but here you are going to take negative 3. Negative 3, what is our Q? Minus 5. Let me stop there for a while. Are you following? Silence may mean two things. That is simple, or you are totally lost. Now, minus 3 minus 5, what's the answer? Right, so here you're going to get negative 3, negative 8. This is the coordinate that we have here. This is the coordinate. So negative 3, negative 5, it will give us a negative 8. This is the coordinate that we are dealing with. So we have indicated this is the equation of the line of symmetry. This is the equation of line of symmetry. It is x minus 5. Points of intersection with the line of symmetry and the graph. Points of intersection with the line of symmetry and the graph, it is going to give us 3, negative 2, and negative 3, negative 8. Are you following? Right. Now let us go on what we have been dealing with. The equation of the parabola, it is this one. Y is equal to 9 over x minus 5. It is the one that we got there, you remember? And then they used, because A is greater than 0 is positive, so they used this and then substituted in the position of A, they put a 9. Position of A, put a 9. Now we are saying square root of 9 is plus or minus, but here we are going to take a plus because it is only positive, because A is positive. Now, same applies here, we take a positive because they know that the square root of 9 is plus or minus, but here you are going to take a plus. Are you getting it? Now, when we come on to this one, the square root of 9 is always going to be plus or minus. But now in this case, you are going to take the negative one, which is minus 3. And here it is minus 3 minus 5, which is minus 8. These are the answers that we got up there. Let me stop a little bit and then pause for questions if there are any. You remember the points that we got at the end. We got 3, -2, -3, -8, which is what we have here. Any more cries pertaining to what I've said so far? Are you clear? Right. Now let us go on to the next one. On the next one, we still have right, is because I did not have a free period to erase this. I did it with the other class, and from there I went straight to the other class without resting, so I could not erase this thing. We need to start our own. Shame. Now, after this, when you are kicked out of when you are kicked out, please, you can rejoin. You can rejoin for the next period because we are ending our period at 2 o'clock. So when you are kicked out of the meeting, please be patient, rejoin. I will admit you. Now let us look at the second case until we are kicked out of the meeting. We are given any 2 points. If you are given any 2 points, you need to substitute into both. Right, in this case, you are given the graph of y is equal to a over x plus q. This one is a general hyperbola graph. It is shown below. They are saying determine the values of a and q. Once you have got the value of a and q, you have got the equation, right? So this means to say, if we take y is equal to a over x plus q. Now, it's different from the first one. Now, on this one, we're given which point do you want to take first? Which point? Hello? Between these 2 points, 2, 5, minus 4, 2. Which point do you want to use here first? Let us take 2, 5. Right, this is the general equation. And then we want to use this one here. What is the value of y? 5. So in the position of y, we put a 5 here. We've got a. What is our a? What is our x? 2. So this is going to be over 2. We say plus q, which we don't know, right? Now, if we have this one, fractions are not nice to look at. Let us make them lookable. Let us get rid of the denominator, 9, denominator 2. What do we need to do to get rid of this denominator? How do we transpose it? We want to get rid of these 2. How do we get rid of this denominator? Sorry? We multiply. What is 2 doing? What is the opposite of division? We multiply by what? by 2, where all terms. So meaning to say you are supposed to multiply 5 times 2, and then if you have a over 2, you multiply by 2, you have a q, you multiply by 2. You multiply all terms by 2. Are you following that? Right, if you multiply by 2, these 2 here and these 2 will simplify. What we remain with? A. Now, 2 times q, we have 2q. On the right hand side, this is what we have. Now let us look at the left, on the left hand side. 5 times 2, 10. Now, what is it that we have? This one is equation 1. Are you seeing it? This is our first equation. Now, let us go on to the second equation. On the second equation, we are still using this one. But now, which point? At which point are we dealing with? Right, now we are using -4. -4 what? 2. On this one. What is the value of y here? 2. So you plug in 2 is equal to our a. What is the value of x? -4. -4 plus q. Are you following? Now we still have a denominator. Let us make it lookable. Let us get rid of this denominator. What do we need to do? We multiply by where? All terms. If you multiply by -4, 2 times -4, what do you get? -8. This one is going to give us, now the one who has just joined in, if you are kicked out because we are about to be kicked out, you need to rejoin once more, because we can be kicked out of the meeting anytime now. Right. If we multiply by -2, here we're going to remain with an a. You multiply with a -2 here, what are you going to, -4, what are you going to get here? -4q, right? Now, this one here, what is the equation we have got? What equation have we got now? We've got equation 2. We've got our equation 1 and equation 2. Take note of the way we tried to solve simultaneous equation. In our case here, what method do you want to use? Elimination, substitution. Which one do you want to use? Substitution. Now, if you decide to use substitution, you need to make a certain letter subject of the formula. Which letter do you want to make the subject of the formula? In which equation? In equation 1 here, right? So let us leave A alone. We transpose this one. So it will give us 10. If we transpose 2q to the other side, what will it become? -2 what? -2q. This is giving us A. Now, from this one now, we have got our third equation. Our third equation from equation 1. Now, what you need to do, you substitute, right? You substitute in which equation? Equation 3. In which one? In 2, right? We substitute equation 3 in equation 2. Now, when you are substituting, you are saying wherever you have an A in this equation, you plug in this number. So what do you have? What do you have? We've got -8, right? Now, in the position of A, what are you going to put? 10 minus 2q. 10 minus 2q, which is this one. And then you say minus 4q, which was already there. You have substituted, right? Now, do you have any like terms there? Which are the like terms? -8, and you collect them to one side. So it will be -8 minus 10. Because 10 we transpose from this side, it is adding, passes on subtracting. Now on the right hand side, be careful. -2q, -4q. What do you get? -6q, right? Right, -8, -10. What do you get? -18. You've got -18 is equal to -6q, right? Have we got the value of q? No. So since we haven't got, what we need to do now? We divide by -6 where? Both sides. If we divide by -6, what are we going to remain with here? Q. Now, you say -18 over -6. Now, be careful. -6 into -18. What's the answer? +3. So the value of Q is 3. Have you got it? Now, we were supposed to find the value of Q and A. How can we specify the value of A? What do we need to do? Where do we substitute?